In the 1985 World Series, I was a shortstop for the Royals. And in that series, everything just really, really slowed down for me. And I wasn't thinking, and everything was just very fluid and effortless. The timing was great. And I choose my words very carefully when I say that every single ground ball for 7 games hit me right in the sweet spot of my glove, right in the perfect spot. And every throw came out of my hand with perfect speed and trajectory. And it was a feeling of almost not being able to do anything wrong, and even if I tried, it was some force really, really overtook me. And I ended up being the leading vote getter of MVP of position players. I did not win the award. Our Cy Young Award winning pitcher, Brett Saberhagen, won the award, rightfully so, had a great series. And but it was a life-changing moment for me as we ended up winning the World Series. And I was on magazine covers, and I was on the Today Show and the David Letterman show, and Sports Illustrated, People magazine did a feature story, Esquire magazine. It was a really amazing time in my life, but it was a time where when I realized after the World Series that when my phone was just ringing off the hook with all kinds of these opportunities, that something inside of me really wasn't interested in doing it all. And I ended up doing all that stuff, but I told my wife at the time that, I'm really not that interested in all this. I knew there was something more that I was seeking in my life. But I went ahead and did it, and it was great. And there was one big problem with having a zone experience in the World Series, especially when you're a marginal major league player. And it was that I had no idea what happened. I had no idea what happened in my mind and my body that allowed me to experience life and the World Series and really every play with things slowing down and not thinking in very fluid, effortless motion. And think back to a moment in your life, maybe you've had some experience where, all of a sudden it just felt so easy to you with whatever it was you're doing, whether you're an artist or a musician or an athlete, where you had that moment where things were just easier and quite often you just don't know what's going on. And so that was what happened to me. I had no idea what I had experienced, how it all happened. And the subsequent anxiety that I felt going back to spring training after having a zone experience in the World Series and not knowing was so intense with me. So 20 months later, I was out of the major leagues because I just didn't know what happened. So my life's journey since that time has been to figure out what the heck happened, and more importantly, how do we teach it? And since that time, not since that time, but for the last 16 years, I've been training athletes in many different sports, 13 professional sports and many amateur sports, how to get in the zone.